we would like to ask you and the colleagues what happened here about this last Israeli attack.
Will you please elaborate your question more, because it's a very wide
question
to answer it. From where to start? From the beginning?
Okay. So now we can start from the first day of the last Israeli attacks and what happened and what the Lebanese Communist Party has done. Yes?
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. Under the excuse of kidnapping two soldiers from the Israeli army by Hezbollah, Israel took it as an excuse to attack Lebanon and destroy, we can say, all of it. While in fact, if we go back to some resources which say the Israelis were planning to attack Lebanon even if the Hezbollah didn't kidnap the two soldiers. And sometimes people may ask why Hezbollah kidnapped these two soldiers.
That's why.
We have detainees in the Israeli prisons, Lebanese detainees, and they do not belong only to Hezbollah party, they belong to all parties in Lebanon, and we as a communist party, we still have some in the Israeli prisons. It became like a normal procedures which took place from years to now, that Hezbollah kidnapped some soldiers and they exchanged them with the detainees in the Israeli prisons. This is legal action because till now we have part of our country still occupied or under the Israeli occupation from Mazara Shib'a and the rest. But as we said, Israel was planning to attack Lebanon. So they took the latest capture as a reason to attack it. And this attack was very brutal because it insisted on destroying all the infrastructure in Lebanon, and it's not here, and sometimes you cannot compare as destroying the infrastructure with the number of the civilians who were killed because of the Israeli bombing. Their main target was the innocent people, the civilians. To create as an action in Lebanon, to break the social structure in it, to create as an internal war against Hezbollah, because the more you kill civilians, the more you destroy bridges, the more you destroy the infrastructure. Here the people will start asking why we as civilians were killed. But this didn't work with them. We as the Communist Party, from the first day of the attack, we announced our full support and our resistance to all the Israeli attacking. We worked on two sides. The first side was the military front, which is we asked all the comrades who are close to the south or who are living in the south to defend themselves and to support the resistance. This is one part of the military work. From the other part, which is named the social services, again from the first day we divided, the party created some committees, small committees. Every committee is responsible to ensure, or we try to ensure as much as possible services for those who ran away from the Israeli attacks. And what happened, it took place for the first time in Lebanon, because when Israel bombs the south, most of the southern, or the people who are living in the south, they move to the suburb. But this time Israel attacks both. That means those people who ran from the south, they were not able to go to the suburbs of Beirut because also it was under attack. This created a big problem for them. Here we did our best. The first thing we did, we asked all the schools in Lebanon to be opened, and we went to some schools in Beirut. We opened the door to put the people in them. So the first duty for us was to save these people from sleeping in the streets. This is the first part. The second main part, which was how to let them be able to survive. That means, okay, you put them in a place, but that isn't enough for people to survive. You have to ensure for them minimum the survival things from water, food, and something to sleep on. We started to contact the comrades abroad and in. That means here we started to contact the parties, the communist parties abroad, and all the people who are ready to support us.
Did anybody respond?
Most of them responded, and we started to distribute food, medicines, whatever supplies we get. We divided them on those people who flee from the Israeli invasion. This is from the social services, but the main part, which was a real difficult one for us, simply some places, because there is no infrastructure, and here infrastructure we mean mainly the roads. There are certain regions we were not able to arrive to because there were no bridges, no roads, and every moving track could be bombed. It doesn't matter if it is a Red Cross or an ambulance or even a normal car. But because we are party above all the sectarian questions in the country, so we have service centers all over Lebanon. So we asked our centers that exist in the other regions to open their doors and to give all the possible services they can have, or all these helps they can afford. We have 2 hospitals in the south, and they were functioning بالنشط الشعبية in the south. لا بأي منطقة النشط الشعبية، مستشفى النشط الشعبية بالسور بالنبطية. And it kept working, even it was bombed twice, but it kept giving the health services for all the wounded people and all who asked for help. So mainly this was what we did. So we worked on we tried to work on 3 levels. First, to resist where they exist. Second, to give the social services for those who are under bombing, under the Israeli bombs. And the third part was to help those who ran away for safe places. Refugees. Mm-hmm. You can name them refugees.
Oh, sorry.
So this is in brief what we did. Then we contacted the High Commission to give us some support. High Commission, which is a committee that related to the country that receives the supports from abroad. They gave us a small part because we do not belong to this governmental structure. So they gave us a real, we can name it minor part, but again with this minimum things we were able to support the refugees. Mm-hmm. This is on the internal level. On the external level, as I told you, we contacted all the political parties abroad, all those parties who can support.
Who responded? Could you tell me about which countries?
Who responded from the communist parties? The Spanish, the Greek, the French, Italians, Cyprus, Turkish. Approximately we can say all the communist parties abroad responded, and again they gave us all their support which is possible. But we must not forget one point, which is that till now we are under siege. That means even their support, part of it wasn't able to get it.
Okay. Why?
Because the Israeli army didn't saying Lebanon must stay under siege. Nothing is allowed to get in by sea or by air or even by land. We are sieged till now. So that's why, for example, once they ship for